Hey friends, good morning and welcome to Empires and Puzzles video. So it's Soul Exchange time and we can see, I think it's the same heroes, and the funny part is almost everything. Well, I think everything is according to that chart. So let's go look at them quickly. So this is the row of 10 heroes. Eonia, super elemental hero. Of course, the dodger, but the important factor is super elemental hero that helps. Because we can manipulate the tiles color. For all the heroes that exist in this portal on offer, you'll have to find a way to max them using all resources to be able to enjoy them thoroughly. So that part I want to say right in the beginning. And let's move forward. So yeah, bleed-inducing daggers at fast speed summons a fiend for the target and all the holy enemies. So that's useful if there are multiple holy enemies. Fiend damages its target with 250% attack. Now this is significant. The Dagger Fiend absorbs healing, which is standard. Dagger Fiend disappears after it has absorbed healing, and owner receives 810 bleed damage over 3 turns. Okay, so that's Eonia. It's such an irony. Nemesis is in tier of 10. But amongst the three, she is tier 10 hero. So she is part of the Styx family. When she came, she was really painful. But subsequently, other crazy heroes came, making her redundant. 782 defense is literally nothing because now the defense comes at 1100. So that's very, very clearly 300 plus points short. So mana charge 3. Styx guys have first and second charge, which culminate into joining up for the third charge. So first one deals 500% damage to the target. 3 turns, enemy's mana is increased by a special skill, status effect, level property, passive skill, family effect, or minion. They receive 250 damage. So if you have any mana benefit, you get a whack. Second, deal 640% damage to the target. All enemies are immune to new status effect buffs for 3 turns. Okay? Attempted mana buffs will be replaced by minus 34% mana generation. So that'll be an ailment. Last one, 680% damage, and the combination of the previous two. Second portion of the specials. There is a whack 250, and there's a minus 34 mana generation. So that's Nemesis for you. Zenobia. Same situation. She came, was useful because Jabberwock had created that excitement of the edges of the formation thing. But this defense is insane. Low. So dual sting deals 320% damage to the enemies on the edges of the enemy formation. If there is one enemy alive, damage is doubled. Alters the power of all the fire shields on the board. When attacking, it's plus 64% attack, and when defending, it's minus 57% attack. That's Zenobia, the fire hero. Ulysses. There are quite a few people who are excited about Ulysses. Why? Well, let's see. He's a magic hero, so there are 2 speeds. Does quite a bit of things. Well, these heroes have got passives, so I'm skipping all that. I mean, that's all very known. So I am just sticking to the part, and you'll find a few moments of concentration here and there because I'm making my coffee. So yeah, first charge. Scroll of equations at magic speed. Summons an enchanted sigil minion. For each ally with 15% HP and 20% attack inherited from the caster. It's nothing great. As it is, this fellow's stats are poor compared to today, which means this 15 and all is not anything significant. Having said that, when summoned, the enchanted sigil minion gives plus 20% mana generation for its owner for as long as the owner has enchanted minions. This can't be dispelled. So the first portion of the special is nothing great, as you can very clearly see from what I read. Let's look at the second one. It's Fiend. Summons a cursed sigil fiend. Fiend damages the target with 100% damage every turn. Absorbs healing. And gives minus 38% mana generation for its owner as long as owner has. Now, I'm not able to see anything exciting in this fellow. So I will leave it at that. Full stop. Especially this kind of a hero that is dated, except the fact that he can come in and the first charge will be super fast, but he is also deceptive, like people got deceived by the blue chick, Milena. And this last one, Liadria. Nothing great. Came in as a hero of the month. Some defenses have her. She can be painful because Spirit of Spring summons the minion with 30% HP and boosts health every turn of its owner by 100. Can't be dispelled. All allies, special skills deals an additional 20% damage for 4 turns. And the Elemental Ling gives some tiny additional special skill damage. So, as you can see, the stats of all these heroes are terribly low. So, if you decide to pick any of them, well, invest. Let's go to the next one, tier of 15. Becky, the Dark Hero. Magic family, so has 2 specials. Wand of Mana Control. First one deals 350% damage to the target. Each time the target activates their special skills during 3 turns, mana of all other enemies is reduced by minus 15%. Now this is an interesting special. I use Gazelle a lot, so this first one is what I end up using Becky for. Second one, which is increase the mana of all allies by 10%, which is excellent. For the next 5 turns, this character deals 250% damage to all enemies each time an ally casts their special skill. This is the Dark Hippo, but for some reason I don't use her unless I'm doing that quest or POG of all 5 darks. That's why she's fun, but otherwise I don't use her so much. So, but brilliant hero. Of course, the stats are really low, but we have resources. Constance, dodgy Musketeer, Sword of Dance, simple, 230% damage to all enemies. All allies get plus 45% chance to dodge. Special skills for 3 turns. Each dodge damages the attacker for 100 damage. All nothing special. When she arrived, that damage was really painful. It wasn't path breaking, but painful for sure. And the dodge 100 was also adding on to that. But then now it's just a poke, nothing else. Despite her being double LB, it doesn't cause some significant damage because you can clearly see, and nobody's going to give her double LB, and let's be honest about that, except a few. At least I don't face her double LB so much. So that's that. Flip, the beach party hero. It's shocking how all their numbers are in the 800s. Look at this. It's 1200. 1200, 1100. So Flip is a healer. 45% health to the rescue. Allies bypass defensive buffs. So that's a unique buff that he gives. And of course, 50% plus 50% critical chance for 4 turns. So useful. He does cause an irritation. Thanatos. That is a Styx hero, healer, and mana generation buff. First charge recovers health and increases mana of all allies. That's straight addition of 10% mana. Second charge and the third charge is 50% health, increases mana of all allies by 20%, and the mana generation buff of plus 40%. Nothing great. 815 is shit. Archie. Funny. I have a feeling this is the costume version. Yeah. And I don't think so they have given the costume, if I understand. Unless they have. Because this is very clearly, pictorially, the costume version. How? Let's go and see, because I have the bugger. Where the hell is he? Are you kidding me? Cannot. Yeah, there he is. No. It's not the costume version. That's the actual version. In my imagination, I was imagining it to be the costume version. Got corrected. So Archie, the Fable Llama from the Springvale family. I will skip the stats. 250% damage to all enemies. All enemies are immune to new status effect buffs. And receive 150 whack for every attempted. And of course, he gives himself minus 10% accuracy. The typical fault line all the Springvale heroes have. This is insane if he is given everything. But this also includes, be careful, costume bonus. So if I remove the costume bonus, the stats will decrease considerably because the costume bonus is, come on. Attack bonus, defense bonus, health bonus, and mana bonus. So that's the deceptive part. But he has been useful. Impact all. I use him quite a bit. Off late, I have stopped. But for almost a year, I have used him. Because with Gazelle's buff, a lot of stats get enhanced. And his unique thing of giving buff prevention and penalty on buff, attempted buff, is useful. So that's that. Okay. Let's go to the last one. 20. Rochefort. That's the Musketeer. How many Musketeers here? 2. Yep. So I would have been very happy had they put Aramis over there. Why not? But they put the hero that nobody uses. Full stop. So yeah, he's a fighter. So some of us will jump on that. But dishonorable ploy. Dishonorable ploy. These are shit. Deals 565% damage to the target and minor damage to the nearby, which will be half of that. If the target is defeated in 3 turns, all enemies receive 626. Now, this is a unique thing. Because I have other heroes, I don't use him so much. But sometimes when I have used him or faced him, and his whack comes on to Gazelle most of the times, because obviously these days most heroes attack Gazelle, which means I have had situation of 4 heroes on the opposite side firing their special and all the 4 special lands on Gazelle. Usually Gazelle would die in 3 specials at most, only because she has gone into that revive mode. I see it, but 4 heroes have fired their damaging special one by one on Gazelle. That is very clearly designed into the RNG by the game company, and it is known. I mean, this has been going on for the last 2 years, especially because they've been bringing in out heroes which are really powerful, and these powerful heroes are not able to do any shit because of Gazelle. Gazelle's buff is insane, and the costume version of Gazelle is wow. So that's the typical thing that he marks the hero and then everybody goes and hammer and tongs. So yeah, that's a useful hero. That's the queen. Can you believe attack 797? So we have moved into the 700s over here. What do I say? Even with all the resources, it's 1191. Amazing. So Queen Guong deals 330% damage to all enemies. All allies get 10% mana every time an enemy uses their special skill during 4 turns. This is a really good special. The caster gets Vengeance for 4 turns. If Vengeance is dispelled by a special skill, all enemies receive 525 damage. So when she arrived, obviously this special was absolutely badass and cool. But then she's old, even though the picture so this queen arrived, I think 2 or 2.5 years back, and this special was really amazing because there are multiple ways of activating the last portion of the special. You could have Gazelle firing, or you could have multiple heroes that clear up things on both sides, like Annabelle, and cause damage. So she really became painful. Obviously, I used to steal that using the Hatter, and then I used to use it on the opposite side. So that was the fun part. That's why Gazelle and Hatter, for me, have been absolutely amazingly fun heroes, which I think the game became totally manageable with whatever shit it goes through, having multiple Gazelles and multiple Hatters. Of course, they become whole heroes, so stats is where they are lacking. Having said that, the Queen, the special is really useful. Damage, straight mana addition, and vengeance. Only disadvantage is this. Let's look at Hypnos. So that's the fire hero from the Styx family. There are a lot of Styx heroes in this portal. 780. Fuck. Sweet Dreams. Straight forward specials, 220% damage to all. So I like Hypnos because he impacts all. All enemies are immune to new status effect buffs for 2 turns. Then dispels buffs from all enemies and 320% whack, and all enemies are immune to new status effect buffs. And the last portion of the special is 385% damage to all enemies. And of course, first dispels, then gives whack, and then immunity for 4 turns. So he is an excellent hero. Very straightforward. I, of course, use the first 2 specials most of the time because I'm using him along with Gazelle. I am using the first special. And sometimes, if there is luxury, I use the second portion of the specials. Now, that doesn't mean the third cannot be used. What it means is, by the time you collect charge to go on to the third special, game these days is so fast, it doesn't make a damn difference. So I find the third portion of the special to be useless. That doesn't mean useless for me. That doesn't mean it does not have power. That doesn't mean it has no use, but it's easier to charge the first special transfer it onto the opposite side, do the second special by the time, and again fire it. That makes better sense if you have the appropriate heroes. So having said that, let's move to the next one. Cell. Summons rock golems at slow speed. These golems have got massive HP, which is 40% and 50% attack. They have golem's stone skin and are there for 3 turns. Golem stone skin drops all damage received to the owner to 1, but is removed after 1 hit. So not the minion. The minion doesn't go away. The stone skin goes away. The stone skin effect of the minion goes away. So that is irritating. Of course, you need the minion removal heroes who can straight away remove this minion, which means the damage is literally. So when I use this guy, Ojima, his damage is brought down to that 1, but removes the fatty minions. That's it. So having said that, that's your cell. Now comes Zandrala. This is another of the super elemental heroes. Staff of Mana Control. Deals 450% damage to the target and all ice enemies. So if there are multiple ice enemies opposite, she's the one to take. I do that all the time. Automatically does 438 damage to the target and all ice enemies when their mana gets full and reduces their mana by 50%. So this is straight mana control. Alters the power of all nature shields on the board. When an attacking hero casts, the shields become enhanced and give plus 37% more mana. And when defending, it's minus 30% less mana. Now, she is an excellent hero because of the mana control and against the target and against all the blues. So if there are 2 blues, 3 blues, basically I fire onto the other enemy and then rest of the blues get marked. I've shown that in multiple videos of mine. So that's it. These are the heroes. Now, which are the heroes to look at? Very clearly, Eonia in the tier of 10 is worth a consideration. Nemesis is useful because a lot of things that she's doing, but it's connected to mana. The useful part is the second. All enemies are immune to new status effect buffs for 3 turns. So that part, along with the damage and that portion, is extremely useful and painful. And of course, Zenobia whacks the formation. So if you like Jabberwock, Zenobia is the red or the fire element Jabberwock. So she can be also taken. These, no. They don't do anything great. And that's it. In the tier of 2, it's very clearly Becky would be my first choice because she is doing 2 things. First, in 2 matches is whack to 1 and of course mana ailment. So slowing down, mana control, and slows down the opposite fellows, conditionally of course. And the second one is straightforward and it can be made functionally fast. So 3 matches. Increases mana of all allies straightforward and 250% whack to everybody. Every time an ally casts their special. So you can obviously use it like you do with Hippo. And rest of the fellows are, I would say, to an extent, I would say Flip is nice. Rest are okay comparatively. But depending on your roster, I would say this one can be useful, this one can be useful, but now I see this Becky and Flip being the most sensible picks. Going into the tier of 20, I see Hypnos being a top pick because that impact all special needs to be obviously maxed with every resource that you can put, and that impact all special is very, very useful. And then second one is Andrela, and they both are joint first, I will say, because Andrela is fun when she puts all the blue fellows to shut up, and there's always a blue in the team. And sometimes there are two, so 3 heroes are just shut, which is really amazing. So very cool hero, and it's fun. And that hero can be anywhere. So the blues could be scattered anywhere, doesn't matter. She will reach them because of the special. So in this particular tier of 20, I would put Hypnos and Zandrella as the top ones. Then of course, depending on what you want, you can go for this. But ideally, if you are going to go for a dark element, I would say pick up Becky. And if you want fun, then you can pick up the chick queen, if you want a queen in your roster. This one, nothing great. Slow speed, easily managed. Yes, out of 20 hits, once got frustrated. That means nothing. We have had Kalo frustrate us more percentage of times or more number of times than this chick. So I will leave it at that. So yeah, this, depending on what you want. This. So that's the soul exchange. I will decide what I want and close it. I have an idea who I'm picking, and it's something that is going to be picked up for the fun of it. So let's see. Okay, so those are the 20. We are picking up somebody from the 20 tier. So I already have, I wanted to pick up Eonia. That's a unique hero, but I want to also clear up. I don't know, maybe I pick up, I'm just gonna look up. Because the other one that's coming to my mind is this, but I will not use this chick. She'll just sit. And I don't have a roster situation because I'm not pulling heroes, so I'm not loaded in the roster. I have 29 spots. This will bring 9 more, so it'll be 38 spots. Doesn't make a squat of a difference. I'm just thinking, will I regret not getting her? Because she is fun. And will I give her the necessary stuff? I don't use Becky so much. Only because I have got 2 Aramis, 2 Costume Panther, Amethyst, Nyx. So will I use this chick? I will not. But she's fast speed, worth looking at. Super elemental. That's the decision. I'm just looking at this. Will I use? I don't think so. I'll use. I will not use her. I may not even level her up. Yeah. So I'm changing my mind. I'm going ahead with this. I will, of course, go and reduce the heroes. Remove the heroes. Yeah, they are 1/1 copies for now. Next time they'll get removed. So I've got 7, 8, 9. Yeah, for now I'm keeping you Sir Cashmere, but I don't use her. So I'm going to let her go. Or rather, let this jerk go. I haven't leveled him up, so what's the use? Yeah, I'm getting Eonia. Really interesting. I want to get a hero that I will put to use rather than a hero that is more fancy-shancy. And this is the benefit of not having need for roster space. So yeah, it's Eonia for me. In the first row, I already have all except Ulius. In the second row, I don't have Thanatos, the center 3. And in the third row, I don't have Cell and the Queen. I like this special. Goody. There you are. Got it. On to the next one. Surprised. Really surprised. But Super Elemental is absolutely... If I did not have Zandrela, I would have picked her up. And if I was using her a lot these days, I would have picked up a second copy. But, of course, I don't use her so frequently. So, that's that. So, I got the hero. Trust this discussion helps you. Good luck in making your choice and see you in the next video.